Hello everybody, welcome back to my desk, and I have gotten a request. I don't know if you guys remember the video where I read Fog Dragon Studios fan mail. You guys probably do. But I wanted to take her advice and do a LPS customizing tips and tricks video. And I will be using an empty mold for an example. I won't actually be painting on it though. It's just to give examples and things. Most of the stuff you can probably look up on YouTube, but for my subscribers, thank you so much. I wanted to just do this all in one video. So yeah, let's get started. And please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Myself so pretty. And comment on the second episode of LPS School Drama if you like it. I've been going crazy today. But anywho, let us get started with this video. Okay, so the first tip is molding. Sculpting, really. You want to use, let me see if I can find it, 100% acetone to remove the paint on this on an LPS. Here I tried my best too. You can also buy molds off of Amazon or eBay. I don't even know if eBay has molds. But if you go back to my what clay I use video, you will see the list of clays that I use, but this one is, personally I like to use, personally I like to use this, it's called Epoxy Sculpt, but yeah, you want to use 100% acetone, no nail polish, it stinks. That's my advice to you guys. So next, oh wait, I actually have an even bigger bottle here. Let me show you the full size of it. Dun dun dun. Okay, next, besides the big bottle of acetone and the giant LPS and the LPS goat screaming, we are going to move on to, drum roll please, paint. This is a tube. So what I do before I paint any of my LPS customs is paint them black. I did not, however, do it with this LPS custom and this and a couple others. Yeah, I didn't do them. But don't use this paint. I didn't plug up the courage enough to go get the actual bottle of it that I use. I should, so let me go do that really fast. Here's the bottle that I use, and it is this Apple Barrel brand. It is jet black matte acrylic paint. You always want to use that for your customs. Quick drying, easy cleanup. 2 FLOZ, 59 milliliters of paint. This brand is really good. I find it very helpful. I'm going to show you guys other colors that I use for base coats. I use this light country gray a lot, and used this golden sunset paint, mustard yellow paint, on my Sun Element LPS custom. There's this brownish chestnut color that I actually used on him for his base coat. And there's this chocolate bar color as well. There's this brand, all these paints are the same brand. This one is Apple Barrel, it's just white, and it is the same thing except it's just a much bigger bottle. Here is Crimson. I've been using that quite a bit. This paint you do not want to use. Outdoor gloss and indoor, don't use this because it makes your customs all glossy. This says real red. I mean, you can use it if you're doing like that, like the bandana little stripes. that's what you really want to use it for, but you don't want to use it for an LPS custom base coat. Here is some bright blue, and here's another bottle of bright blue. Same brand. Here is just a much bigger tube of that other paint I was talking about. I use this occasionally, so that's really big. It's as big as the acetone bottle. Here's some more white. You guys can probably see why the crate of paint was so heavy because of all these paints. This green I kind of recently bought. It is a spring green. Here's this pewter gray, and here's this light mocha. I use that a lot for like if I'm doing LPS customs based off of humans, or just a nice palomino. If like I'm doing the Pegasus, like a nice palomino color, I use that. Tip number 3, the brushes that you want to use. Yes, I've been waiting to get to this. This container is kind of small. This is a shrunken down container that I used. It's plastic. You can use a metal container or a glass one, doesn't really matter. But I used this as a little container for my water. This is the paintbrush that I use for base coats. It's very gnarled and weird looking. So I use that one. I also use this fan-like brush. I actually take some like paper or parchment paper, it doesn't matter, and I will squeeze it in between a very thick book and put like a box of blocks. Ooh, box of blocks. I will put it on top of a box of blocks for a couple of minutes, and I kind of just forget about it. Then when I come back to it, it's all nice and spread out. That's actually what I use for my crystal inspired one. So I use that, and when it's not in its fan mode, I kind of use it to just like make little puff marks on it, and it makes this really cool little spots. This brush is not very thin, but I use it for like if I'm doing like the hair or the inside of the ears. That's what I generally use it for. This one is a bit thinner. I will use it for like the inside of the eyes sometimes. That's not all the time. I will also use it for more of the same that I used this brush for, the blue one. Now these brushes are very, very important. These are fine brushes. These are so important, guys. So with these are really good for eye details. But yeah, you use these for very, very thin detail. Like little stripes and little claw marks. Or inside of the ear or the eyes. These are the main 3 sizes I use. I bought it in this huge pack. The sizes are 0, 1, and 000. Sometimes I will often use these metallic or gold paints. This color's gold. And for the last step, I use this Mod Podge sealant. You always want to make sure it's matte and it's clear acrylic sealer. That's also, you always want to do it outdoors because you don't want the smell to get in wherever you're working. Trust me, it doesn't smell very good. I also use these paints. They're just little tubes. I use these for like minor coloring and things like that. And okay, this is actually the last thing. I use this Mod Podge satin. Satin is very glossy. I use that as a finishing touch for the eyes on all of my LPS customs. It's very important too. You could probably find all these materials at your local craft store or things like that. I use this pearly white, iridescent pearly white. I use that to add a little shine to my things. I use this. This is the same brand, except it's not glossy. And I also use this. Artist's Loft is a very good brand, especially if you need metallic paint. This is metallic, and it's also acrylic. Yes, you always, please guys, always want to use acrylic paint. Nothing else will work on your customs. And I also use glitter and hot glue. But yeah, I also use some glitter. And yeah. Well guys, I hope this helped you out a little bit to figure out what paints and things I use and what things that you should use for your customs. There are a couple little things that I may have missed, but that's because they were in other videos. So please go check those out. And please like and subscribe to my channel. Oh yeah, and share. I forgot that. And see you next time. Toodaloo.